Hey 4xe fans, this is a little bit of an update to a video I uploaded just earlier this week about how some people are seeing their vehicle go into form after receiving the 04B update, the recall that we're in the middle of. And people are seeing that their vehicle goes into form like right away after getting the update. I uploaded a video and I honestly thought that there was probably some information to consider in the idea that maybe, all of us weren't charging before having the recall work done, and that those who weren't charging were operating in hybrid mode, and therefore there'd be a lot of short engine runs, and that could lead it could have been in form before they even had the recall work done, which I think I'm incorrect on that, because if it's in form, they're not able to do that recall work. They have to clear form before doing that. So unless the dealership is just skipping the drive cycle, which has to be done in electric mode, that doesn't compute. That math ain't mathin', they might say. So I don't believe that some of these people were in form going into that, and I think I was completely wrong in saying that, because you can't do that recall if you're not able to get it into electric mode. And people are saying that it goes into form like the next day or the day after having the recall work done. To me, I don't understand why there would be anything in this update that would make the vehicle more prone to go into fuel oil refresh mode, but we don't know what's in that update, so there's no way of saying that for sure. But if it's only there to prevent issues with a battery fire or potential battery fire, I wouldn't see why there would be anything in there that would change form, unless there's some sort of software update that has caused another issue. But it doesn't seem to be consistent, because I'm getting all sorts of electric miles after getting the update done, and a lot of people are. I'd say most people are. And things are operating just as they're supposed to, but I'm hearing more and more from people that are saying mine just went into form and it wasn't that way before. I even talked to a couple people that said they never stopped charging. And so that blows my theory about them operating in hybrid mode and causing a lot of short engine runs, and then having the recall work done, and could have been informed even before they went in to get the recall work done. So I'm telling you, I have more questions than answers at this point. And I know there's a lot of people that tune into this channel for answers and solutions and things we're figuring out, but I don't have any for this, and this is odd to me. It's odd that these vehicles are going into form and seem to be for no real good reason. So that's a question for Jeep that we need to get an answer to, and see if we can get them to respond to that, and figure out why this is happening. I've advised a couple people, if you're close to getting an oil change, get that oil change and reset the oil clock in the dash and everything, and see if that takes care of it. But I read a couple comments from a couple people said they had done that and it went right back into form the next day after the oil change. So I don't know. We're going to have to figure out a way to get this resolved. And if your dealership, some people are just being handed a piece of paper that tells them how to clear form. Well, if you've had an oil change, all that methodology for clearing form is a moot point, because when you reset that oil clock, that's clearing all that data out of the system that the system has accumulated through the algorithm to determine whether or not you might have potential oil dilution. An oil change and clearing that clock on the dash where you reach over and hit OK to reset it, that resets all that data. So if your dealership just hands you that form, you're going to have to speak into that a little bit and say that doesn't apply in this situation. If I've had an oil change and I've reset that clock, that does not apply. So I don't know what we're going to be able to find out about this, but it's one of those things we're going to have to stay tuned and see if Jeep does some sort of other update to correct whatever this weird thing it is that's going on. And this also makes me question something I have questioned for a long time, because of the irregularities and the inconsistencies we see between Jeeps. It almost seems like all of our software isn't the same. And it could be that 21s have one version and 22s have another and 23s and 24s. But there's some of the people that I'm connected with that are really smart about going in and looking at the software versions have found where the software version that we were able to go in and look at through JScan does update, and mine has that recent update, and some people that have gotten stuck in forum are saying they're on that same update. But I don't know what there is in there that we can't see, what the things that are unknown and we're not able to view. I've questioned for a long time if there's just inconsistencies in software, or is there inconsistencies in some of the hardware components. I don't know. I'm grabbing at straws. So it's one of those things we're going to have to, hopefully Jeep hears us when we talk about these things. Hopefully they get the information back from the dealerships. Hopefully the dealerships are escalating it to their regional people, and this gets communicated across the board to where the engineers can figure out a solution to this. And man, I'd like to think they follow some of our YouTube channels, kind of get a feel for what's going on from the people that are connected with the 4xe community. I hope that happens, and if it does, thank you for watching. And boy, we would love to work together with Jeep on some of these issues. I wish there was like a communications portal where we had a group of people that represented the 4xe community that could be in contact with Jeep Engineering to report back on some of the issues that we're seeing, and see if we could find quicker resolutions to some of these things. But I know, pipe dream kind of stuff. But there it is. That's the update. Thanks for watching.